Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
All right, here we go. Here we Mingo on Mick Shots. Here we go.
Oh, save me.
It's NFL trade day, and the Cowboys have made a trade here on Mick Shots, presented by Miller Lite. Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola, as we are now less than 3 hours away from the trade deadline in the National Football League. And the Cowboys have made a trade, picking up.
I am in the dark, guys.
Jonathon Mingo, wide receiver from the Carolina Panthers. For a fourth-round draft pick. And that's how we get started here on Mick Shots. How we doing?
That's nice. We're doing
I'm good.
pretty well. We're making moves.
Now, the important thing, did you all vote?
Yes.
Yes,
I voted last
2
week.
weeks
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
taken
I think
care
it was
of.
two.
That's the trade deadline's kind of pushing that down the priority list, right?
There was no way I was going to wait and do this.
Jerry was asked on his radio show last Friday if there's anything that he could do on Tuesday that would put the other news of the day on the back burner, and that's what prompted him to say that he wants us to move the ball forward as a country and move the ball forward as a team.
Didn't he mention it at the end today too? Something about
I didn't hear him today.
I thought it was something about the election when he signed off.
That's good.
Yeah,
Doing his civic duty.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So here we go. Have the Cowboys moved the ball forward as a team with a trade for Jonathon Mingo?
This guy, I don't know. Talk to me, Spags.
Well, what did the big green notebook have to say about him? Let's start there.
Well, it says that he was a second-round draft pick last year, 39th pick in the draft for the Carolina Panthers. And
But I want to know what it said before the draft.
I failed to go back to the 2023 green notebook. He was not Keon Coleman. Let's just put it that way. Okay. And Keon Coleman, of course, went to the Buffalo Bills early second round this year. And he was my guy this year.
Yes.
But
You
going
can
back,
have more than one guy.
No, but he was the guy for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he was everybody's guy.
But
Yeah,
it was.
easy.
But I said on draft day, when they didn't take a wide receiver in the top 100 picks, that they're going to be making a trade for a wide receiver at the trade deadline.
Wow.
Because I felt like there was a need on this team for a wide receiver. And I go back to 2009 when my guy was Jordy Nelson, and it was Mike Jenkins and Felix Jones. We had 2 first-round draft picks that year. Late first round, and he went to the Packers early second round, about the same place that Jonathon Mingo did to Carolina last year. And the Cowboys wound up at midseason that year trading away a first round. That was 2008.
Okay.
And then in 2000, they traded away their 2009 first round draft pick for Roy Williams. Okay. So that was the 08 draft, was the Felix Jones and Mike Jenkins and Jordy Nelson came out. And then fast forward to 2017, I guess, and my guy was Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah.
And he went, they could have taken him, and they didn't. And they wound up trading for Amari Cooper that year.
Well, I think Cooper was better than Juju Smith-Schuster.
But they wound up giving up a future first-round draft pick for it.
I know.
So I'm not saying that I'm not saying Amari wasn't better then, but you're giving up a first-round draft pick for it.
Was
and Juju was a second-round.
And they got first-round return from
You
it.
damn
too.
right.
That's
they
right.
Did.
Yeah.
Turned the season around
for a couple of years till he got too expensive.
How'd that draft go the following year? That was the Tristan Hill draft in the second round. So
Tristan, oh yeah.
Okay.
You don't remember him?
Oh yeah.
And we know how bad the 2009 draft was. It was one of the worst in history.
What?
Well, they had a Was that
because they traded away the first-round draft pick for
and
Roy
they
Williams
traded
the
out
year
of the
before.
second.
So this is on a lesser.
third.
This is on a much lesser level. They're giving up a fourth-round pick
Right.
for Jonathon Mingo, and this, in my opinion, this trade is not about this year. It's about the next 2 years.
Well,
So what? You mean they're going to hold him for bait?
No, I'm saying
he's saying it, that he's this guy's not going to come in and save the season.
People are comparing the value, the compensation of the DeAndre Hopkins, Amari Cooper, Devontae Adams. Well, the Cowboys gave up too much. They gave up a fourth-round draft pick, and the other. And I've got the list in front of me. I go look it up. But it's the difference is this: Mingo is 23 years old. He was a second-round draft pick last year, and the Cowboys have him for the next couple of years. He doesn't become a free agent until 2027. Okay, so they've got him for the 25 season, the 26 season, and they're going to need a wide receiver in 25 and 26, and we'll see how he develops.
And from a salary standpoint, he's not going to cost.
Right, and
with
so
these
that's
other
why
guys.
the compensation was what it was, rather than on these rental players that other teams traded for this year.
So let's just start here. You're not going to change 6'2", 220, 4.46. That's what he was coming out in the combine. So you've got that, and everybody's looking at his
220.
220.
Damn.
He's big.
Yeah.
And he can
22
run.
bench reps.
And 22 bench reps. Yes, absolutely.
And he runs a what?
4.46. So everybody's
You know who
looking
he
at
reminds me of for the way he runs and stuff? It's not the wide receiver, but DeMarco Murray. And I went back and looked at the same.
Oh, really?
I went back and looked at his measurables, and DeMarco's is very similar, although he's slightly shorter, 6 foot instead of 6'2", but 220 pounds, and ran a 4.43. And this guy, Mingo's got 39 vertical, 11-foot broad jump. He's got explosion.
Wow.
And so there's some run after catch ability. So that's what the Cowboys see in him. The Cowboys, I think, had him as a top 50 prospect last year. And other teams probably had him, well, obviously had him as a fourth round, maybe. But he was taken with the 39th pick in the draft. He's been in a horrible offensive situation in Carolina with a rookie quarterback. But this is about, okay, we see what he can provide this year. And the Cowboys have a real need right now, especially when you consider they almost lost CD for a while in the game the other day. They got lucky on that. Brandon Cook's coming back.
when's he coming back?
Yeah, exactly. We don't know when. For sure, he's eligible to come back this year. The window,
This
I
week,
assume, will be
this week?
He can come back this week.
Yeah,
but we'll see where he is. And
think about it. What if? So say Brandon Cooks doesn't come back yet. CD probably no better than questionable this week. Now Mike said he's going to play. He said I can't imagine he won't play. Mm-hmm. But what if he doesn't? You're going to trot out there with Jalen Tolbert, Kevontae Turpin, Jalen Brooks, and Ryan Flanoy. I thought they needed another receiver. Mm-hmm. Maybe Jalen Cropper coming off the practice squad, right? What if somebody gets hurt?
I thought they didn't replace Michael Gallup all year.
Right.
They didn't replace him in free agency. I mean, you're hoping everybody steps up, whatever, but they did not replace who they lost in free agency, Michael Gallup. And here's the other thing about Jonathon Mingo, and I don't know, I haven't seen him play. We'll see. All of this is off the table if he's a bust, okay? He's 23 years old. He's only 23 years old. He's 2 years younger than CD. Brandon, obviously, he's 8 years younger than him. He is 2 years younger than Jalen Tolbert. He is 2 years younger, or 1 year younger than Jalen Brooks. He's 2 years younger than the sixth-round rookie draft pick you had this year, Ryan Flanoy. Flanoy is 25, and Mingo's 23.
And
why
he's
is Flanoy so old?
and I'm guessing
He had a
BYU?
circuitous route to but he was.
and I bet he's seriously younger than Turpin.
And yes, Turpin's 28, so he's 5 years younger than Turpin.
Now, know this. So at Ole Miss, right, his senior year, or last year, whatever it was, 51 catches, 861 yards, 5 touchdowns. He averaged 16 yards a catch. So there was something there.
His physicality, obviously.
I think
athletic ability.
I read where Dane Brugler had him as a late second, third-round pick and a eventual starter in the league. I think that was his analysis I saw. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. You know, everybody's looking at what he did this year at Carolina.
And he's got 12 catches this year.
Right. And he's only played.
And last year, in 14 starts as a rookie last year, he had 43 catches. Still has yet to score a touchdown in the National Football League.
418 yards, yeah. But he was also having a raw rookie not ready to play.
Oh, yeah. I'm not blaming those stats on him.
Right.
Not at all.
So,
because I would imagine the best receiver on their team didn't fare too well.
But let's just clear this up as far as comparing this acquisition with the other wide receivers that have been traded this year. And these are Pro Bowl caliber wide receivers for the most part. The first three I'm going to mention here. I mean, these are top-of-the-league type wide receivers. Davante Adams, Amari Cooper, DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, Adams was traded for a third-round pick. Okay. Adams has 3 years, $80 million left on his deal. He becomes a free agent in 2027.
And
okay,
it was
we'll see.
$13 million this year, if I remember.
And we'll
correctly.
see how long he is a Jet. He's going to be a Jet as long as Aaron Rodgers is a Jet, for sure. Amari Cooper, at 30 years old, he's in the last year of his deal, and Buffalo only is paying him $800,000 this year. Okay, so he's a rental for this year, and they gave up a third-round draft pick for a player they have for half a season. Mm-hmm. They also gave up a seventh-rounder next year, okay, or in 2026. Hopkins goes to Kansas City for a fifth-round pick. Mm-hmm. He is on the one-year deal, or Kansas City's paying him $4.5 million. He becomes a free agent next year.
Okay,
that's the reason. Okay, and then Deontay Johnson is the most recent one, who's 28 years old. Carolina dealt him to Baltimore. He's on the last year of his deal, which is no money, whatever, and Deontay went for a fifth-round draft pick. Okay. The reason the Cowboys are paying a fourth-round draft pick for Mingo is because he doesn't become a free agent until 2027, and at a very reasonable number as far as the salary cap is concerned. They got 3 years, $3 million, counting this year and the next two seasons. And now the Cowboys, by the way, Jalen Tolbert is in his contract year next year, and he becomes a free agent in 2026. And Brandon Cooks, likewise, is a free agent next year.
Turpin will be restricted.
And so anyway, there is, from a depth standpoint going forward and a young player standpoint at wide receiver, they needed to add to that room with a guy that their scouts had as a top 50 pick when he came out last year. It'd be different if he's going to be a free agent next year, but the reason that you have to pay a steeper price as far as a draft pick goes is because his salary is not up there too.
Because those other teams, when they were trading him, those veterans, they were also trading money off their cap.
That's right. That's the benefit for
so they don't need as
Las
much
Vegas.
to do
Las Vegas did not need as much in return for Davante Adams. They got a third-round pick for him because they're taking his money off their books.
So much instant analysis.
There you go.
So, there we are.
And
now we'll see what he can do this year.
Yeah.
We'll see what
All
he can
of
do.
that,
We'll see what he can do Sunday
Sunday
against Philadelphia.
You think he's going to play?
oh, why not?
He'll be here at practice tomorrow, I would imagine, Roy.
Man, we'll
see how fast he picks things up,
yeah,
right?
Well, we're going to need him.
Look, when they signed Carl Lawson, look how long it's taken him to flourish, right? But he didn't go to training camp. He wasn't with a team. He wasn't playing.
How many sacks does he have now?
Well, he got 2 Sunday and a forced fumble. Mm-hmm. But it took a while.
All right, here's what Washington just acquired cornerback Marshawn Lattimore from New Orleans. Washington is sending 3rd, 4th, and 6th round picks to New Orleans for Lattimore and a 5th. So basically it's a 3rd and a 4th for their cornerback.
And his salary, whatever.
It's a big salary, right? Because
he hasn't been playing all that well, if I remember correctly.
I don't think anybody is on that team. That was amazing how they were doing what they called the Saints fans called the second line dance with the umbrellas, and
two games.
They do that at funerals. You celebrate passing on,
or
as
3
opposed
games,
to mourning.
I should say.
So they were celebrating, but I guess they didn't know they were celebrating their own death.
And the head coaches
right,
too.
Exactly.
Lattimore's on a $97 million contract. He becomes a free agent in 27, so they'll have him for a couple of more years. His cap number,
that's a lot of money.
His cap number this year with New Orleans was $14.6 million. Next year, $31.4 million, and the following year, $28.5 million.
There you go. So they got rid of all that.
Mm-hmm.
See, and the other thing, this thing came up, and I don't know why it comes up, because this ain't baseball. Are you buyers or are you sellers? The Cowboys have never been a seller. It just doesn't happen that way, and it's not gonna happen. Because what are they gonna sell? Who are you gonna trade away?
Talked about that yesterday.
Right? Who are you gonna trade away, and how are you gonna replace them if they're a good player? And what are you gonna get in return?
Let me throw another one out there, because the Lions acquired Zadarius Smith from Cleveland,
right,
edge rusher. Okay, and if my memory serves me, they gave up a 5th next year and a 6th in 2026.
I believe I saw that.
I think they're given their a 7th rounder is coming with Zadarius. So just think about this from a Cowboys perspective, and the Cowboys' obvious need at edge rusher. Okay, this year. And Zadarius Smith, his numbers, his cap number this year is $5.2 million, $9.4 next million, and $50 million the year after. Okay,
damn.
At age 32, and so would you give up a 5th and a 6th for the edge rusher?
But not for that salary.
Right.
If I'm planning on paying Micah Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you know.
Who else is coming up besides Mike?
For like a big one?
Yeah.
Jake Ferguson is still a year away.
We always just talk about Micah.
Well, I mean, Zach Martin, this is his last year.
Okay.
I think it's his last year. I mean.
Well, here's one for you that we're not thinking about now. But they'll have a 5th-year option on Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith still will have 2 years left.
2 years,
yeah.
Right. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's in his contract year. Don't need to be guessing.
Osa is in his contract year right now. Osa Odigizua.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Teron Bland will be up before you know it.
I'll give you your guys that are going to be unrestricted free agents next year.
Well, Teron Bland, you're talking 25.
I'm talking 25.
Teron Bland, you got another year. He becomes a free agent in 2026. Okay. But if you want to do something on him, you may want to
do it next year.
Yeah.
So 25, Trey Lance, Cooper Rush, Rico Dotto, Zeke, Brandon Cooks, Chuma, Zach Martin, Chauncey Golston, Linville Joseph, DeMarcus Lawrence, Carl Lawson, Osa Odigizua, Jordan Phillips, Carlos Watkins, Eric Kendricks, Nick Vigil, C.J. Goodwin again, Jordan Lewis, Israel Mukwamu, Owarie. That's a lot of guys.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we're just getting started here on a trade day edition of Mick Shots. We got much to get to, and when we come back, how about we hear from a coaching legend about someone in the room?
Oh,
okay. That's coming up next here on Mick Shots.
He's the only one surprised.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages, with pregame sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste and only great taste.
The Miller Brewing Company would like to issue a correction. Miller Lite is brewed to be less filling. What are you doing here?
Miller Lite tastes great.
Look, I'm just reading the script. It says less filling.
That's not what my script says.
Well, mine said.
We'd like to apologize for the previous announcers. Miller Lite is in fact less filling and tastes great. Time to shine, legal guy.
Celebrate responsibly. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Beer. 96 calories and 3.2 grams carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
Back to Mick Shots.
Stay connected with the Dallas Cowboys on your connected TV. Catch up on all Cowboys content like player interviews, weekly TV shows, podcasts, docuseries like Deep Blue, and much more. Download the Cowboys Now app on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV.
Okay, this is great. All right, the Steelers have just now acquired wide receiver Mike Williams from the New York Jets. Okay,
30 years old.
30 years old. Okay, Jonathon Mingo with Carolina. 12 catches this season, you said? Mm-hmm. Mike Williams with the Jets, 12 catches this season.
And he's got
Mike Williams,
the guy throwing to him.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, and Mike Williams, okay, was the 7th pick in the draft.
Wow.
In 2017. Now 30 years old, and of course, with the Chargers. He never was a Pro Bowl receiver, but had good years with the Chargers. In fact, averaged 20 yards a catch, led the league back in 2019. Yeah. His best season, he had 76 catches. Of course, with Keenan Allen over there, he had 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns that year. Okay, that was in 2021. Okay, but 12 catches this year.
Last week,
one
catch for 6 yards.
Okay. Steelers gave up a 5th-round draft pick for Mike Williams, okay? I bet you there are people out on Twitter right now saying, how come the Cowboys gave up a 4th-round pick for Jonathon Mingo and the Steelers only gave up a 5th-round pick for Mike Williams? The stats are exactly the same this year. Here's the difference. Age, he's 7 years younger, and he's under contract at a reasonable price until 2027. Mingo is. Mike Williams becomes a free agent next year. So the Steelers just gave up a 5th-round draft pick for a rental player with the same exact stats this year as Jonathon Mingo, who they will not have next year on their roster.
You know what? I hope we don't become like the Jets to where this is where players go for their careers to die. You know what I'm saying? I hope we don't turn into that.
And again,
team,
when
man.
I'm talking about Jonathon Mingo, I have no idea whether he's going to be a player here or not. But I'm just giving you, here's the reason. And here's the reason the compensation was a 4th-round pick for Mingo as compared to some of these other guys that are getting traded. Anyway. All right. Did you watch the Monday night game last night?
I did.
You watched the wrong.
Yeah, you weren't watching the right network, probably.
Yeah.
You didn't watch the ManningCast.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Why not?
There was great excitement on the ManningCast last night.
Got to admit, I'm not a fan
of the ManningCast.
Yeah.
Was Belichick on?
Belichick was on.
Of course, he's on.
He's always on there.
He's on for the first half.
Well, I was out.
Oh, is he always on?
Yes, every
I know he's been on there once
Shows
before.
how much I watch the ManningCast.
See what I'm saying?
I don't watch it.
Well, I was out on him.
On Belichick?
Yeah, because his radio show that he has on Monday nights before the games.
Yeah, with Jim Gray.
Yeah, and who was his guest?
Oh, I don't know. Okay.
Somebody running for president.
Oh, okay.
For real?
For real.
Wow.
All right. Belichick, after that, was on the ManningCast.
Okay.
And on the ManningCast, I was alerted to this by someone, and I feel like the audience needs to hear what Bill Belichick had to say about one of his former players. And that player would be Everson Walls. Producer Supreme, do you have what Bill Belichick said last night?
You know, one of the best ones I ever had was Everson Walls. And Everson Walls, you know, came out of Grambling, ran 4.7, played for the Cowboys. And when I got him at the Giants, he was the most unorthodox corner I've ever coached. Still, I've never seen anybody play like he does. And, you know, he had 57 career receptions. He had a great career. Probably should be in the Hall of Fame. And I told Everson when we got him, I said, look, Everson, I'm never going to tell anybody to cover the way you do it. I don't know how you do it, but I don't believe in it. Great job. There's Kelsey pulling up on that set flag route again right in the hole. But I told Walls, I'm never going to tell anybody to do it the way you do it, but I'm going to let you do it your way because you're still successful with it. So, you know, I'll let Walls play it his way, and he did it his way. He was really successful. Walls is a great kid. You know, he donated his kidney to his teammate Ron Springs. So, you know, really unselfish player. But Walls' technique is unlike any corners I've ever coached. 67 interceptions. Can't argue with it.
There you go.
Well,
he's talking through the commercial. That's
right.
They tried to shut him off. I'm still talking here.
So that like the last 20 seconds of that, they've got a billboard up, coming up next, whatever.
he's still going. He's still going.
So why did that come up?
They were asking a question. I didn't get the.
They asked him about. Go ahead, Chris.
They were talking about the throws from the quarterback. You know, like how he throws sideways and all this kind of stuff. He's talking about players. Being unorthodox. You know, how you throw the ball. And he's like, well, he gets the job done.
And he said, "Do you know it? Did you coach any players like that?" I think it came.
Yeah, that had an
unorthodox
technique.
Oh,
but then for some reason he brought up LT because of course LT was, I wouldn't say unorthodox, but he just did what he wanted to do. And then he brought up Brady, which I know he's not thinking unorthodox in that manner, but he brought him up. But no, to have he actually put those names in there first when they talked about the players that you've coached, and then he's kind of stumbled a little bit, and then he said, and Everson Walls. And then that's when he started talking about me. I'm like, oh, damn, he put me in there with those boys.
Anyway, it was great timing, too.
For the Hall of Fame?
For the Hall of Fame pitch. And so I tweeted.
So I sent it out. And,
I tweeted it out, and I tagged Gary Myers on it, and he reposted it. And so we're starting to get some Hall of Fame run here for Everson. I tagged Shireen Williams and Goose Goslin on it, too. And
I tried to put you in on it, but, you know, you and your freaking Android. Golly, dude. Man, I kept trying. I said, man, and I asked Chris, did you get my text? I was asking you if you could send it to Spags.
Well, you texted me before, and I get it.
It was a video.
Oh, and it wouldn't.
The problem is the video. We can text with you.
Yeah, because it comes back green.
Yeah. That's the other thing.
Yeah, it comes back green, bro.
Isn't that the most aggravating thing?
It is. Who are these people with the green text?
My son-in-law had an Android, and I wouldn't let him marry my daughter until he got an iPhone because I didn't want my group text to be green.
So funny. So yours comes in black and white.
Way to go, Bill.
That's right. He asked me to marry Jessica, and I said, nope, can't do it until you get an iPhone.
Oh, and what did he do? He get one
he
really
got an
quick
iPhone.
next day.
Real funny.
Oh, man. So anyway.
At least he didn't have to pass a baseball test, right?
Well, what do you expect? He's from Coppell.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, that's really not.
How come yours comes in black and white?
Yeah, no. How come yours comes in green?
Well,
Everyone else's
mine comes in. See,
black
mine
and white.
accepts everybody.
Not on the video. You can send the video to us and we can get it. We can't send the video to you.
I don't know. I just got a text, and it had a picture, and I got it.
From somebody probably with an Android.
No. Matter of fact, it was from Savannah.
Oh, wow. How's she doing?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Cool,
She's back in town.
I asked you about it yesterday.
Very good.
Good.
Okay.
Anyway, speaking of, on top of that, Ron Springs' birthday was yesterday.
Oh, really?
And I forgot to bring that up yesterday because we were so upset about the game. But, Ron Springs' birthday was yesterday. My wife's birthday is today. Happy birthday to Sherelle.
All right.
She's going to have a good day today. She's going to be stressed out about the votes.
Yeah, but you probably won't find out till tomorrow.
Right.
It won't be your birthday.
We can go out to eat. It's going to be okay. It's still going to go on.
When's your birthday, Everson?
28th December.
Yeah, we won't know the results of the election until the 28th of December, until your birthday.
That's funny. That's
right.
a good one.
All right, we continue with more Mick shots in just a moment.
That's a good one.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys to get started.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Back to Mick Shots.
The most electrifying event of the holiday season is here. Cowboys Christmas Extravaganza, powered by Reliant, is back at the Star in Frisco. Join us every Friday and Saturday night from November 22nd through December 21st for a spectacular holiday show with the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, Rhythm and Blue, Rowdy, Santa Claus, and surprise tree lighting appearances from your favorite Cowboys heroes. I'm not going out there. Best of all, the show is free. For details, visit thestardistrict.com and don't miss out on the holiday magic. That was a lot.
Okay, we continue with Mick Shots here and some more news from the Cowboys. The Cowboys have released a player. Cornerback Andrew Booth.
Shocking.
Mm-hmm. It could come back to the practice squad.
Could be.
Could. How about
so that'll
Booth? Booth, by the way, was a second-round draft pick of the Vikings a couple of years ago. He went in the trade from Minnesota for Nashawn Wright. How's Nashawn Wright doing, by the way? He is not playing.
I saw his name.
He's not on the team.
Oh, they got rid of him?
Don't believe
Spags,
he made the team.
Know that, right? You're supposed to know that, man. Come on, man.
I thought I heard his name recently.
Who's not with the? Let's. I'm confused now. Who's not with the team?
He is with the Vikings, but however, he has not appeared in a game this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the practice squad.
Okay.
So
for the Vikings.
For the Vikings.
Okay.
So it's even because Booth played one game, a half, and he got burned several times and hasn't played since.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been.
That's in the regular season, not counting the preseason.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he set the table in the preseason.
Was he that bad?
He's been inactive.
That shows our judge of talent because we both like Josh Butler, right?
Yes.
And by the way, Josh Butler was
elevated
for the game on Sunday, played on special teams, and so he's got 2 more elevations left. So there's where you're set for depth at cornerback.
Jeez. We're just trying to.
So Booth played the first 3 games, and then he started that half against the Giants, and I thought he was inactive the next 3 games.
Okay. All right, what else you got in your legal pad? You heard from the coordinators yesterday. Let's get to the good stuff.
Let's go real quick.
Okay.
Zim, basically on the McLeod, the Mooney wheel route touchdown.
Yeah, let's hear this.
Basically said we were in 0 coverage, so everybody was in man.
Yep.
And he said we misaligned. It was basically what Everson told us, that they had everybody lined up on those 3 guys, or at least 2 of them, were all on the same plane, right? And you don't want to be everybody even. And so
the depth and
the depth
coverage.
Yes, yeah, right. He also said that they missed 15 tackles in the game. 15. He said some were diving at guys and some were not wrapping people up.
Mm-hmm.
He also pointed out when they talked about losing Dak and does that put more pressure on the defense, and he goes, in 2017, he goes, I lost the starting quarterback before the week before the first game. We traded for Sam Bradford. He played the first game, and he injured himself and was out for the season.
That was a Teddy Bridgewater injury in preseason.
Yep. And then he said,
Teddy 2 gloves.
Oh no, Bradford was the third quarterback, I guess. And he was pointing out, no, he said he got hurt in the first game.
Okay.
The rest of the year, and he goes, so we were down to our third quarterback. It didn't write down who it was. And he goes, he took us to the NFC title game.
Yeah.
Keenum, maybe. May have been, but it may have been earlier. I'll find out. Okay, continue on.
So his point was...
I'll correct you in a second after I look it up.
He said, we can't worry about who's there and what's not there. You just got to go play.
Every other team does.
Right?
Every other team does.
Next.
I was looking for my notes on Schottenheimer. Well, we can go to
and it was
Fossil.
It was Case Keenum who went
Case
11-3.
Yeah. John Fossil said that he was on the headsets on that fake punt, and he said Mike said punt, and I said what about, and they had a code word for that could play. And he said he listened to me, so I'm taking full responsibility for it not working out.
And he doesn't regret it either.
And he said I didn't regret it because it was the right call. They just didn't have the...
He takes responsibility for the lack of execution on it.
Right, and the guy that was covering didn't do what he was supposed to do.
Oh,
meaning
he
guy.
didn't cooperate.
He didn't cooperate.
So,
you know what
was
it
he
reminded me of?
do?
It reminded me of Parcells talking about Palomalu.
Right.
He was one of those guys that was unorthodox, by the way.
Yes, he was.
And he said, you never know what he's going to do because he doesn't do what he's supposed to do.
Right.
And he goes, how do you play quarterback against that?
Right.
Something to that effect.
Well, I don't want to compare this guy, unless he's a Troy Polamalu of special teams.
Right.
What did you expect for him to do?
To bail.
What was he supposed to do?
To bail, like your gunner.
And I'm
was
sure
gonna
they
go
saw
down.
that on film.
But this was a rookie. They called up from the practice squad. So I
well,
think
he was sharp enough to know exactly what we were going to do. Somebody tipped it.
That's right.
Somebody tipped it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, do they always bail on the gunner?
Usually, yes.
When did they start doing that?
Because they run down with him and try to block them as they're going.
Why don't they jam them like we always did? Is that a
I've
thing?
seen the other guy bailed on the other side.
Okay.
So what? So basically, he wasn't jammed.
They never try to impede their progress?
Well, I think initially they do, and then they run with him.
Well, yeah, okay. So initially they do,
and he
so
initially did.
Yes.
And they were hoping to get a holding call, not pass interference, because you can't interfere with that because he's not a receiver.
Wait. Talk to me. They were expecting to get a holding call.
Well, no, he was. After he saw it, he said he was hoping that because you can get a holding call in.
You can't get a pass interference, but you can get a holding call.
Yeah, like when you're going down.
You can't just
grab him.
Right.
Hold on.
I got you.
And as it turned out,
that's a lot of hoping.
Yeah.
Well,
no. After it turned out that way, they weren't anticipating
I got you. Okay.
I thought that was.
It was still just a bad.
Yeah. Well, the gamble at that time, they were trying to change the momentum.
I don't mind the gamble.
Right.
It's the play.
Well,
to me.
But they only need.
Go ahead.
I was going to say they only needed 2 yards.
So you would have preferred if you're going to run a fake punt,
a better fake punt,
snap it to the up back and
something,
have him run for it,
right?
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Because that's too chancy.
Yeah.
It's really you're expecting this guy,
right,
who's never consistent probably on how he does, and even if he is consistent on it. That's still a tough throw for a punter to make.
No, he can make that throw. They've done it before with him. I mean, I've seen him.
Mm-hmm. But also hoping that this guy cooperates on the other side. And that's the tough part.
And he thought Anger, as he was getting ready to throw, he kind of saw, and it was too late to pull.
Well, that was smart.
But he didn't fire it.
It didn't matter.
Yeah,
it was
I know.
not going to work, and it didn't matter.
Right.
It wasn't going to work. It was poorly designed, and the way whatever they came up with for the reasons for that design, it has so many flaws.
They should have just
so many flaws.
Handed it to Wanye Thomas.
Isn't your boy in there? What's the
Lipke?
Lipke, is he in there?
I'm not sure.
I'm sure
he's probably on the.
He's probably on the line. Probably.
I'm not sure. I think he'd be in the bag. You think he'd be a protector?
I think Wanye Thomas was the protector.
Okay.
He does that.
Just crazy, man.
And he only needed 2 yards, right?
Too much for 2 yards.
Right?
Too much for 2 yards.
Because all you had to do is complete the pass, and it would have been 2 yards.
Yeah,
right?
but
didn't even need to run with it.
The guy's a football player out there as well.
Do you prefer that play, or do you prefer the fake punt end around Cedric Wilson and throwing the ball? Do you remember that one? That was from the 2020 season.
Yes, when Cedric was a baller.
But it was a deep pass downfield, right? Well as I recall.
To Cedric.
It went he was passing. Cedric. He was the passer.
I can't remember. He was a.
It was like an end around pass downfield. It went.
But we just needed 2 yards.
It was not good.
We just needed 2 yards.
And that one I'm looking it up. It may have been like 4th and 10 or something.
Now, if I'm going to
that was 4th and 10. That one in 2020 was 4th and 10 from the Cowboys' 24-yard line.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And
so this is nothing compared to that one.
And by the way,
we're getting better.
We're
getting better.
There was a wide open receiver down the field, and he didn't throw it. He tried to run it.
Oh, is that what happened on
yes.
it? I can't remember.
Yeah,
it was right down.
That's right.
Right down the slot, and he kind of
C.J. Goodwin was downfield on that one. And here's a quote. Cedric said he couldn't really see him because they had that guy kind of slough off. The time clock is going in his head, and so he ran it, and it would not work. Okay.
So we're still just as bad on special teams then as we are now.
You know what? And then the other thing, Jerry today, and Schottenheimer he didn't really say it, but they were talking about Trey Lance, like getting him ready now because he's got to be the backup quarterback. And Jerry said, yeah, we might have something for him, meaning maybe, number one, they better because he's one play away from having to go in and play. And number two, maybe they designed something for him to run with the football.
Well, we saw Cooper run the other day.
Yeah, we probably want Trey Lance running with the ball, right? But they've got a lot of confidence in him. Schottenheimer called him unflappable. And he, when he's played, they've won, but the defense have played well in the games that he won.
Yeah.
And now
that's all you need, man.
If you can, right?
Just give me some help.
Can you just hold somebody?
Get Micah back. How about we get Micah back?
17
help,
or 20. Well, yes, it would. Because if you saw what Lawson was doing, if that's Micah, he might have had 4 sacks in the game.
So then
he might have broke Adrian Claiborne's record.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure you. I'm pretty sure you've said this before, but when is his return?
They're hoping he can practice this week,
which means he will play. If he practices, he'll play.
Deron Bland, they're hoping he's going to start rehabbing, and they're hoping that he can get into practice because Kalen Carson.
That means that they're not going to play this week.
Kalen Carson looked like he hadn't played in 5 or 6 weeks.
Well,
early in the game, he was getting burned.
He was nervous, man.
I think he was.
Yeah, he's nervous.
And then he missed the tackle again.
Put Josh Butler there. He doesn't get nervous. He's got 3 million followers on TikTok.
Let's see how many.
Oh man!
How many snaps did Josh Butler get on special teams, and then we can go.
How many plays?
12 snaps on special teams.
That's right.
None on defense. Because he ran in there, and then CD called him off.
So finally,
not CD. Trayvon called him off and went back in.
That's what he was
so finally, he called him off, and then that was the wheel route touchdown.
Yeah,
when he didn't get lined up,
that was it. I got you. Oh, where am I supposed to be? Over there.
Finally, Cooper Rush is 5-1 as a starting quarterback. What do the Cowboys need him to be? Let's say Dak goes on IR, so he's out 4 games. What does the Cowboys' record need to be over the next 4 games against Philadelphia, Houston, Washington, and the Giants to start your December run to the postseason? What do they need to get?
It's got to be 3-1.
That's what I was going to say.
It's got to be.
3-1 would get you to 500.
I don't even want 2-2. We got to have
3-1.
And when you're talking a backup quarterback, 2-2, you would say,
3-1 gets you.
Yeah.
So 3-1 gets you to 6-6 at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then you're
and
still in the
that
ball
means
game.
that you
got 5 games left
on 2 of the teams that are in front
so
of you.
then you would need to win 4 out of your last 5 in order to get to 10 wins and have a hope of getting in the playoffs.
Can we break it down to they need to be division wins?
Well, that's the other thing. They need the Philadelphia and Washington, and the Giants, but especially Philadelphia and Washington need to be.
You would like 3 division wins.
That's what you want.
So if you're going to lose one, lose to Houston.
Yeah. That's what I see. Otherwise,
but if you went 2-2, then you'd have to win out the last 5 games. Just real quick.
I mean, and these things that we're talking about, they're not, they're not undoable. I mean, they can be done. No doubt about it.
So if you went 2-2, your last 5 games are Cincinnati at home, at Carolina, Tampa Bay at home, at Philadelphia, and Washington.
At Philadelphia and at Washington.
No, Washington is at home.
Okay.
To
once again, that Philly game will probably end up being.
So there you go. All right.
Hang on. Wait, one thing.
Okay, hold on. The exit polls are Mickey's got some information on exit polls.
So last year, Green Bay started the season 2-5, 3-6 before they turned it around.
And the Rams were 3-6
and got to 9-8.
So the Cowboys can afford to lose to Philadelphia Sunday and still get there. Wow.
And
so save Parsons another week. Oh, we don't need him.
I think if you
in fact, just make this a Trey Lance game. Get him some experience.
Can you get to 9-8? Can you get to 9-8?
Oh man! Hey, stranger things have happened, and you don't call it strange. It's just play teams going on a run. Sometimes it's a matchup. Sometimes it's the right part of the scheduling. But it has happened every year. Some team has made an improbable run that either got them in or just missed getting them in. So it's not like it's something that we haven't heard of before.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. I thought the show was over. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
One last thing. The Packers.
One last thing, Nate.
One last thing. The Packers were 6-8 and won their last 3 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
Finished 9-8.
There you go.
Won a playoff.
So the goal is to be 6-8.
Yeah.
All right. That does it.
That means you got to win. You got to win 3 more.
All right. And we will shout at you again tomorrow here on Mick Shots.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!